"You're weak." That's what they all thought about Spud Webb. At 5 feet 7 inches, he was too small, too short, too limited to ever mean anything in a league built for giants. But on one unforgettable night in 1986, Webb proved every single doubter wrong. What happened that evening did not just shock the basketball world, it changed the game forever and opened doors that had been locked tight for decades. Anthony Jerome Webb, better known as Spud, stood at just 5 foot 7 inches. In a league where the average player towered over 6 feet, Webb was an anomaly. His journey to the NBA was filled with rejection and doubt, yet he possessed something that could not be measured in inches: heart, determination, and an explosive athleticism that defied logic. When Webb entered the league in 1985 with the Atlanta Hawks, few believed he could survive, let alone thrive. But Webb was not just surviving, he was preparing to make history. The stage was set in Dallas, Texas for the 1986 NBA Slam Dunk Contest. Webb's teammate, Dominique Wilkins, was the reigning champion. Known as the human highlight film, Wilkins was a 6'8" powerhouse who had defeated Michael Jordan the year before. With Jordan sidelined due to injury, Wilkins expected an easy victory. He thought the contest would be a walk in the park. What Wilkins did not know was that his undersized teammate had been secretly perfecting his dunks in private. Wilkins later admitted he had never even seen Webb dunk during practice, which made what came next all the more stunning. Before we dive deeper into that legendary night, think about this. What moments in your life made you rethink everything you thought was possible? Drop a comment below sharing your story. And if you are loving this journey through basketball history, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you will not want to miss what comes next. Webb took the court and immediately silenced the doubters. His dunks were not just impressive, they were explosive, creative, and delivered with a flair that captivated the crowd and judges alike. One dunk after another, Webb defied gravity, launching himself into the air with power that seemed impossible for someone his size. The finals came down to Webb and Wilkins. When the scores were tallied, Webb had won. The upset was complete. For Wilkins, the loss was a significant blow to his legacy. Here was the prototype of athletic dominance, the standard-bearer for high-flying excellence, defeated by the unexpected anomaly. Webb took home the trophy and $12,500, which was 1/6 of his annual salary at the time. But more importantly, he shattered the stigma that height is might in the NBA. The victory meant far more than a trophy. Webb's triumph became a cultural turning point. It proved that smaller players could achieve spectacular success on the biggest stages. This moment generated significant momentum and reduced the systemic bias that extreme undersize previously entailed. Webb's accomplishment was explicitly cited as having paved the way for other height-challenged guards. 1 year later, in 1987, another undersized player entered the league. His name was Tyrone Curtis Bogues, better known as Muggsy. At 5 feet 3 inches, Bogues became the shortest player in NBA history. Without Webb's groundbreaking victory, Bogues' path would have been far more difficult, if not impossible. Bogues' entry into the NBA was met with greater cultural acceptance than it would have been just a year earlier. Thanks to Webb, the idea of a 5'3" point guard was no longer dismissed as a statistical impossibility. Instead, it was seen as an inspiring reality. Bogues' exceptional skill set, particularly his passing and defense, was judged on merit rather than novelty. He immediately established his worth with the Washington Bullets in his rookie year, leading the team in both steals and assists despite starting only 14 games. His career averages of 7.7 points, 7.6 assists, 2.6 rebounds, and 1.5 steals per game demonstrated that his value derived from distribution and ball pressure. Bogues' 14-season career was an extraordinary defiance of conventional expectations. The average NBA career lasts less than 5 years, yet Bogues played 889 regular season games. His career durability, spanning over 1,000 games when combined with the playoffs, validated his specialized skill set and physical preparedness. For a player whose competitive advantage relied heavily on speed, quickness, and a low center of gravity, maintaining viability for 14 seasons demonstrated exceptional physical conditioning. His effectiveness as a playmaker was evident in his career 45.8% field goal percentage and consistent 82.7% free throw accuracy, indicating reliability and efficiency. Bogues' success transcended mere statistics. He became a global symbol of hope and and aspiration, inspiring smaller players across the world by proving that talent and heart could overcome overwhelming physical disparity. His entry into the league was highly symbolic. In his rookie year with Washington, he was famously paired with the 7'7" Manute Bol, creating a staggering 28-inch height differential, the largest in NBA history at that time. This visual contrast became a major media moment, featuring the duo on 3 magazine covers. This marketing immediately amplified Bogues' cultural profile, establishing him as the ultimate counter-narrative to the league's dominant giants. The relationship between Webb and Bogues was fundamentally different from the intense rivalries that defined the era. While players like Wilkins engaged in high-stakes battles with genuine animosity against opponents like Larry Bird and Michael Jordan, the competitive dynamic between Bogues and Webb was rooted in mutual respect. Bogues reflected on his battles with Webb, which dated back to their time in the ACC, stating that it was not a rivalry, but rather a mutual competitive excitement. The two players served distinct roles. Webb was known for his vertical explosion and a score-first approach. Bogues was primarily a facilitator and defender. Their duels, though spectacles for fans of the little men with big game, were ultimately defined by mutual respect rather than hostile competition for dominance. The story of these 3 players represents a crucial chapter in NBA history. Wilkins was the established athletic power, the prototype of elite, high-flying dominance. His career statistics firmly placed him among the pantheon of elite, high-volume scorers. Across 1,074 games, Wilkins posted career averages of 24.8 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 2.5 assists per game. He retired with 26,668 career points, securing a high placement on the NBA's all-time scoring list. His career player efficiency rating of 21.6 was significantly above the league average. His cumulative career win shares totaled 117.5, and his value over replacement player stood at a staggering 41.8. These metrics provided objective evidence that Wilkins was far more than an exciting dunker. He was a highly efficient and valuable offensive force. Yet, Wilkins' legacy is narratively complex. Despite his brilliance, he frequently fell short in crucial moments against championship-caliber opponents. The most definitive individual battle occurred during the 1988 Eastern Conference Semifinals Game 7 against the Boston Celtics. Wilkins delivered a performance of historic magnitude, finishing with 47 points. Despite this effort, the Hawks fell to the Celtics 118 to 116. Bird countered Wilkins' scoring spree with 20 points in the fourth quarter alone, finishing with 34 points. Larry Bird later articulated this structural imbalance, noting that he never viewed Wilkins as a true rival because the Hawks lacked the mutual threat and title implications that defined rivalries with teams like the Pistons or Lakers. Similarly, Wilkins' rivalry with Michael Jordan produced spectacular individual moments, but was often marked by controversial outcomes. The most famous confrontation was the 1988 slam dunk contest in Chicago. Wilkins delivered powerful and creative dunks, yet Jordan ultimately won after receiving a contested score of 50 on his final free throw line dunk. Wilkins was deeply upset, publicly stating that he felt robbed and vowing never to participate again. This pattern of exceptional individual performance, defeated by dramatic, often narrative-driven victories for opponents, became a persistent thread throughout Wilkins' legacy. For Wilkins, the 1986 loss to Webb reinforced this pattern. As the 6'8" prototype of the elite high flyer, Wilkins represented the pinnacle of conventional athletic dominance. The defeat by Webb ensured that his legacy, while unquestionably elite, would forever carry the footnote of being the giant who was toppled by David. While Wilkins rebounded to win the contest again in 1990, the 1986 upset remained a defining moment. His 9 All-Star selections and 7 All-NBA team honors confirmed his sustained excellence. The Atlanta Hawks retired his number 21 jersey, cementing his place as the franchise cornerstone. He spent 12 seasons with Atlanta, where he remains the all-time leader in career points with 23,292, games played with 882, and points per game at 26.4. The impact of these 3 careers extends far beyond their playing days. Today, as we approach 2025, these legends continue to shape basketball culture. Wilkins returned to the Atlanta Hawks organization after a distinguished international career that included winning the EuroLeague championship in 1996. He currently serves as Vice President of Basketball Operations, reinforcing his institutional legacy as the undisputed face of the franchise. He is deeply involved in philanthropy related to juvenile diabetes research and the American Lung Association,
and serves as board chairman for Culture City, which focuses on invisible disabilities. Bogues leveraged his inspirational playing career to establish the Muggsy Bogues Family Foundation. The foundation is dedicated to empowering underserved youth and families by focusing on critical areas such as food security, access to education, and workforce development. This focus on helping at-risk youth beat the odds stacked against them directly echoes the improbable trajectory of his own NBA career, solidifying his role as a transcendent, inspirational figure. The competitive narratives of Wilkins, the powerhouse defeated by the unexpected anomaly, and Bogues, the ultimate beneficiary of the anomaly, are permanently interwoven by the 1986 Spud Webb nexus. Together, these 3 athletes defined a crucial chapter in NBA history, illustrating how spectacle, statistical dominance, and physical diversity converged to redefine the meaning of an elite basketball player. So what does it mean to be strong? Spud Webb taught us that strength is not measured in inches. It is measured in courage, determination, and the willingness to defy every expectation placed upon you. His legacy lives on not just in the record books, but in every player who was told they were too small, too weak, too different to succeed. Webb proved them all wrong. And in doing so, he gave countless others the courage to do the same. If this story inspired you, make sure to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. What defines true strength in your eyes? Let us know.